And we are live from Captain Dick Smith Field here at Lexington, Virginia. It's time for some Generals baseball. Hi everybody, Bonds Atufe here on WLUR All Access, bringing you a midweek battle between the Washington Lee Generals and the Southern Virginia University Knights. These two teams played each other once last season, supposed to be twice, but weather intervened, and that game was a heartbreaker for the Generals here in Lexington. They were leading 6-0 early on in that game, but then Southern Virginia scored 4 runs in the 4th inning, and eventually in the 9th, they came in down by 2, scored 3 runs in the 9th inning, and came out on top winning 8-7 over the Generals. And the pitcher for the Generals giving up that go-ahead and eventual game-winning run at the top of the 9th happens to be today's starter for the Generals, David Van Gelui. The Generals, though, coming off a doubleheader win over Averett University to open up the season, so they're 2-0, giving Ted White his first 2 wins as head coach for the Generals. On the other side, Southern Virginia, a 3-game battle against William Peace way back on February 3rd. It's been 11 days since they played. They lost 2 out of 3, though, including a walk-off loss in 9 innings. They had a doubleheader on February 3rd, in which both games were 7 innings. They won the last game of the series by a score of 4-3, and they have their starter from that game, Jonathan Soto, on the mound today, and he's got plenty of rest, so he'll be good to go. So it's Jonathan Soto, who is a right-handed pitcher, going off against David Van Gelui, a veteran for Washington Lee. Van Gelui is a right-handed pitcher as well. Now, I had a chance to talk with Ted White today about the doubleheader sweep against Averett, in which any defensive play that would be routine ended up causing a lot of trouble. He talked about that. Carson McCoon, who had an incredible start against Averett University in the first game of the doubleheader, going 6 2/3 scoreless. And then in the second game, Danny Devereaux having a great relief appearance, 5 innings scoreless with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. He talked about that and more pre-game. So let's hear what Ted had to say and what he's looking forward to as these two teams play each other today. Coach, before we talk about today's game, let's just revert back to the season opening doubleheader. First, congratulations on your first win as a coach here at WNL.
Thank you.
Now, in the first game, Carson McCoon came in and, put it simple, he just got the job done. What was the big key for him to perform so well? It seemed like he was a little bit out of sorts in the beginning, but he locked in pretty quickly.
Oh, his breaking ball was on, and he's able to throw 2 different breaking balls. He can control the speed of it. So when he has that, every time he goes out, he's able to compete. The fastball definitely wasn't at the control level that we would want it to be, and he would echo that. But we got fortunate in some spots. You know, the guys swung over top of some fastballs late in counts, and it just helped build confidence. And then he had a quick inning. I think it was either the 5th or the 6th was a pretty quick inning. So after that, we were able to kind of stretch him out a little bit. But, he did exactly what I expected him to do, and that was give us a chance to win. And we were fortunate that we got the big hit late to kind of extend the lead.
Speaking of big hits, talking about the offense throughout the doubleheader, pretty disciplined plate appearances, a lot of walks and some timely hits, but not all your runs came from hits. How do you feel about the offense after those first 2 games?
That's your snapshot picture. Is it exactly what I expected? No. But at the same time, I rarely expect what I think is going to occur to kind of show up. Consistency is something we're going to battle all year. There's some guys that, are more consistent than others, but I expect them just to keep competing pitch by pitch, at bat per at bat, and worst case scenario, go down swinging.
On the defensive side, it seemed like anything was routine turned out to be an error, not only on Averett's side, but a couple times on WL's. And is that a concern for you whatsoever? Or is just trying to get used to the season and also the cold weather that we had the doubleheader?
I'm not very concerned defensively. In my mind, we really had 1 physical lapse and 1 mental lapse. What shows up on the scoreboard isn't always an indication of what happens on the field. So I'm not concerned defensively. We got a good group that puts the work in, and it's one of the, it's like the 10,000 hour rule. If you do it enough, it's going to become routine for you, and we just got to keep putting the hours in.
Looking at the relief pitching game 2, Tom Kellogg pitched both games, And the first game he closed it out, and in the second game he came from McCann, who had to struggle early on. How big was it for Kellogg after coming in for McCann to kind of calm things down and get 2 big outs?
Well, Tom's a very confident young man. Nothing really phases him. He was in that role in game 1 really because we got him warm. We were trying to save Devereaux for the second game. And then coming in after McCann, it was just a situation that, Tom's used to. And he knew it was going to be a short stint. You don't have to worry about his ego. He's an egoless guy. He goes out there, does what's asked of him. So it was just good to see him in back-to-back games. He held velocity. He threw strikes. And, I'd like to see the breaking ball a little bit better. But at the same time, now I'm just kind of splitting hairs. He did his job, and we ended up coming out with 2 wins.
And lastly, Devereaux getting the job done, probably as you expect, 5 solid innings with 7 strikeouts and only 2 walks surrendered.
Yeah, we would have liked to have not had to give him that many innings consecutively. But that's Danny, and the best thing that he has is just that fastball life. He's one of those guys that seems like it has a little juice at the end of it. And when he has that and it's in the zone, he's tough to beat. So he's a constant kind of evaluator of himself. He's kind of grown into that. So we spent a little bit of time, yesterday and the day before just kind of talking about, what we need to do to make sure that our misses aren't as wide and our strikes are a little bit more consistent. So he's our guy at the back end no matter what. So I just hope he just continues to compete and compete at a high level.
Today, facing against Southern Virginia University, a team who came through late last season against WNL in the 9th inning, taking the lead. What's the key, you think, to face a team that can be very explosive on offense while not knowing what to expect on the defense and pitching end?
It's early season, and that's the thing. You really don't know what the other guy is going to have. They're allowed to get better too. And I said this last week, as long as we see this as an opportunity to kind of grade ourselves. I expect them to compete for 9 innings. I expect them to be well coached. But I also expect our guys to do the same. So when it comes to what I see on paper with Southern Virginia, I see a team that likes to run. I see a team that if you get in bad positions in the count, they can put a charge into a ball. And, that's college baseball. It really takes advantage of the opportunities that comes out on top.
And lastly, Vangeliu, we gained the start today, one of the veteran pitchers for the team. What's the key for him to perform well?
Just having his secondary stuff. His fastball will be there. It'll be around the zone, and if it's not early, he has the ability to make that adjustment and move it back over the dish. But if his off-speed stuff is 50-50, then it may be a short outing for him. We will staff out this game. This is still part of the evaluation period. So if David goes 5-6 innings, then it's probably because my assistant coaches are in my ear telling me something. But my goal is just I have 2-3 guys in mind to get us through 6 innings. And then after the 6th inning, we're going to see where we are and kind of bullpen it from there.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Ted White, the head coach for the Generals, talking with me a couple hours before the game today. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineup for Southern Virginia, the defense for the Generals, and the first pitch. We'll be back. This is Generals Baseball on WLUR All Access. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field, we're just about ready to go. This midweek battle between the Southern Virginia University Knights and the Washington and Lee Generals. Let's give you the starting lineup for Southern Virginia. Ryan Saunders leads off from center field. Ryan Morin leads off from third, or bats second from third. Cole Critchfield, the first baseman, bats third. Mitch Tice, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Caleb Layden is in left field. Dolan Stanton in second. Jordan Kiefer behind the plate catching. Riley Daniels at short. And Camden Anderson in right field. The starter today for the Generals is David Van Gelui. Van Gelui's had a lot of experience against the Southern Virginia Knights. Twice from the bullpen, once starting. His one start against Southern Virginia was a good one. His 2 appearances from the bullpen, though, not quite as good. He'll be on the mound starting off. Supporting him on defense, you got Jason Volpicelli at third, Chadwick Feely at short, Austin Crane at second, Zach Lowenberg at first, Marshall Dyke in left, Ryan Munson in center, Roby Smalley in right, and Ben Capuya behind the plate catching. Ryan Munson starting in center field. Kyle Rudisilli not playing today because of a leg injury. So here we go now. Ryan Saunders up to the plate, left-handed hitter. At 3:35, Van Gelui takes a deep breath. Standing on the first base side of the rubber, the windup and the first pitch is a fastball low, ball 1. And we are underway. Southern Virginia 1-2 to start off the season. Washington and Lee 2-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 1-1 count. Volpicelli at third, playing wide at the bag and in. Middle infield playing back. Lowenberg down the first base line, about 3/4 back in the dirt. Time is called by the batter Saunders. Southern Virginia beating Washington Lee last season after the Generals went up 6-0. 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball at the knees for a called strike. 1-2 count to Mr. Saunders. Van Gelui's not wasting any time. Nods yes to a sign, takes another deep breath. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball in the dirt, 2-2. Saunders, a senior, 5'11", 190 from Christiansburg, Virginia. He's got an open stance, slightly bent. Now he squats down a little bit more. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball stays up high. Capuya might have thought that was strike 3, was about to throw towards third, but the count instead is full. Ryan Morin waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called on the outside corner. 1 away. Saunders thought that was ball 4, but he gets rung up.
Third baseman, number 13, Ryan Morin.
Now here's Ryan Morin. Ryan, the third baseman, batting from the right side. Junior, 6', 205 from Cedar Hills, Utah. There's a lot of Utah players on this team. Van Gelui with the first pitch. Fastball way outside. Ball 1. So 1 down, nobody on. Just getting started here in the top of the first. 1-0 count. Van Gelui throws. It is low and away. 2-0 count. As I mentioned, Van Gelui was the one who gave up the go-ahead and game-winning run at the top of the 9th against Southern Virginia last season. The 2-0 fastball in there on the outside corner, 2-1. In the one start Van Gelui had against Southern Virginia, he went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Got the win. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Off-speed pitch misses low, and a 3-1 count now to Mr. Morin. Morin off to a good start. 400 average and an RBI against William Peace. 4 for 10 so far in the first 3 games. 3-1 delivery is popped high up in the air in the middle of the infield. 3 players converging, and it's going to be the shortstop Feely calling for it to his left and coming in to make the catch.
Now
2 away.
The first baseman, number 6, Cole Critchfield.
So 2 up, 2 down. Here's Cole Critchfield. Saunders leading off the game, striking out. Ryan Morin popping out to short. So here's Critchfield now, the first baseman. 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Volpicelli way wide off third. A lot of room down that third base line. The lefty swings at the first pitch and misses. 0-1. Critchfield, open stance, slightly bent, bat laying on his back shoulder, takes a curve and swings. Roller on the left side, Feely to his right and coming in, gloves it and throws to first in time for the third out. Side is retired in order. As we complete the top half of the first, we'll give you the general starting lineup and the Southern Virginia defense when we come back. You're listening to Generals Baseball on WLUR All Access. Back here at Lexington, the Generals and David Van Gelui forcing a 3-up, 3-down top half of the first on Southern Virginia. Now they're up to bat. Let's give you the starting lineup for WNL. Jason Volpicelli leads off from third. Ryan Munson second in center field. Chadwick Feely batting third from short. Zach Lowenberg in the cleanup spot from first base. Ben Capuya, the catcher, bats fifth. Roby Smalley in right field batting sixth. Matt Whiteley, the DH, bats seventh. Marshall Dyke in left field bats 8th, and then Austin Crane in the 9th spot from second base. The starter today for Southern Virginia is Jonathan Soto.
Number 41, Jason Volpicelli.
Jonathan Soto, a freshman, 5'8", 180 from Oxnard, California. Already made one start this season, and it was a good one. Facing off against righty Volpicelli, the first pitch to Jason is in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Volpicelli went 0 for 2 against Averett this past weekend with a walk. Played in the first game, didn't play in the second game. Soto stepped off for a second. Volpicelli takes a practice swing out of the box and checks back in with that bent open stance. 0-1 delivery, fouled back over the screen, right over the bleachers. Strike 2 count. Soto had a little pause there in his delivery for a second, a method some pitchers use to throw off the batter's timing. We'll give you the Knights defense in a second. Strike 2 deliveries of fastball outside, 1-2. Outfield straight away, infield 3/4 back or further. 1-2 deliveries, a breaking ball fouled right over my head, and we stay at 1-2. On defense for the Knights, you got Ryan Morin at third, Riley Daniels at short, Dolan Stanton in second, Cole Critchfield at first, Caleb Layton in left, Ryan Saunders in center, Cannon Anderson in right, Kiefer behind the plate catching. 1-2 deliveries fouled off towards the Knights dugout, and we'll try it again. Volpicelli, first-year player, 5'9", 160 from Great Falls, Virginia. He's behind 1-2 with Munson waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just a bit outside. 2-2 count. That similar breaking ball went in the favor of Van Gelui in the top of the first against Saunders. Here's the 2-2 delivery. A towering fly ball, shallow left, racing in is Layton to his right down the line. He's under it to make the catch, and there's one away.
Now
Here's Ryan Munson.
the center fielder, number 14, Ryan Munson.
Munson gained the start in center field for the Generals. One down, nobody on here in the bottom half of the first inning. Munson staying out of the box, taking a practice swing. Left-handed hitter. Had a good freshman year. Sophomore from Frisco, Texas, waiting. The first pitch is just a bit low. Ball 1. Now Morin at third, playing even with the bag and a little bit wide of the bag. Middle infield playing deep and a little narrowed up as the 1-0 pitch just swung on and popped up in the air, foul behind the plate. 1-1 count. Now one of the questions for Southern Virginia is, how good would their pitching be this season? They had explosive offense last season, but their pitching and defense was a bit suspect. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. Munson didn't quite agree with the call, and he's behind 1-2. I asked that if Southern Virginia's pitching will perform well this season because last season their team ERA was above 8. 1-2 pitch misses up high, 2-2 to Munson. Soto, a freshman pitcher, looking to help bring that team ERA down this season. Steps off for a second, glove in front of his face, now Thiels. And it's a ground ball towards the right side. In his Critchfield, he has it. He'll flip to the pitcher, Soto, who steps on the bag for the second out.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 8, Chadwick Feely.
So 2 down. Here in the bottom of the first, no score. So far in the first 3 games, Southern Virginia's team ERA is 5.7. On the other hand, William Peace, who they faced for those 3 games, had a team ERA of 3.24. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Chadwick Feely, the shortstop. Soto's first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Two down, nobody on. Feely, the shortstop, coming off a great season last year. Waits. 0-1 delivery is a bouncer down third, right to the third baseman Morin. Throws across to first in time, and the side is retired in order. So both teams go 3 up, 3 down to start off this game as we head to the top of the second. No score either side. Back here at Lexington, this broadcast of Generals Athletics is brought to you in part by the Washington & Lee University Store. Owned and operated by W&L, the University Store is located right on campus in Elrod Commons. The store features a wide range of apparel celebrating Washington & Lee, including the Peter Millar Collegiate Collection, offering polos and sweaters for your game day style. If you're looking for workout gear, we have a variety of performance apparel from Nike and Under Armour. All proceeds go back to the Washington & Lee community, helping to fund athletic, alumni, and student programs. The store is open 7 days a week. Order online at any time at store.wlu.edu. Here's Mitch Tice, now the DH, who takes the pitch down and away from Vangeliui. 1-0 count. Top of the second, no score. Both teams going 3 up, 3 down in the first. Tice, right-handed hitter, slightly open stance, slightly bent. Swings and misses on the curve from Vangeliui, and the count is 1-1. It's Vangeliui at the mound, starting for the Generals. Shaking off a sign, now time is called by the batter. Tice, Caleb Layden, and Dolan Stanton do up this inning for the Knights. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, tapped foul back behind the plate. 1-2 count. VanGaillowy got a strikeout in the first inning, forced a pop-out and a ground-out on Saunders, Morin, and Critchfield, respectively. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Mitch Tice. VanGaillowy, a deep breath, a squat, and the pitch. Curve! Strike 3 called right at the knees.
Now batting,
Mitch Tice didn't
left
agree with the
fielder,
call.
33,
It's
Caleb
the second
Layton.
strikeout for VanGaillowy, both looking on curveballs, and both batters not agreeing with the call. So here's Caleb Layton now. Left-handed hitter playing in left field today. 1 down, nobody on here in the top of the second inning. Volpicelli at third, playing wide of the bag and in again. VanGaillowy's first pitch way inside. Layton pushing the hips out, trying to avoid that one, and the count is 1-0. Layton, freshman, 5'11", 190 from Holbrook, Arizona, excuse me. The windup and the 1-0. Down and in again. 2 balls and no strikes. Layton went 0 for 1 against William Peace, a strikeout. Bench stance, slightly open, fists one foul down the first base line, and the count is 2-1. So 3 straight pitches from VanGaillowy coming in on Mr. Layton. Two and 1 the count. Waiting on deck is Dolan Stanton. Here's the pitch. Weak liner, shallow right, racing in is Smalley. He dives, and he made the catch. Nice play by Smalley. Diving at the last possible second, able to sneak the glove underneath the ball
Now
to get the
batting,
second out.
The second baseman, number 10, Dallin Stanton.
So 2 up, 2 down. Here's Dolan Stanton. The Generals showed some good defense in the doubleheader against Averett to open up the season. Smalley showing his ability in right field after that nice diving play on a weak liner that was sinking fast. Stanton, the right-handed hitter, waiting at the box. Fastball is in there for a strike on the corner, down and away. 0-1 count. Ted White, the head coach for the Generals, said the key for VanGaillowy is to see how good his secondary stuff is. So far, that curveball is working for him. Speaking of the curve, he throws one that just misses somewhere, might be a little bit high, and the count is 1-1 to Mr. Stanton. Stanton, an even stance, bent. Here's the 1-1 curve. That one's in there for a strike. 1-2 count. That curve has 12-6 movement, it seems. As there's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second, no score. 1-2 count to Stanton. Kiefer waiting on deck if the inning continues. Fastball just misses the corner outside and a bit low. 2-2 count. Stanton, another freshman from League City, Texas. Went 1 for 4 against William Peace. Or William Peace, I should say, with an RBI. Next pitch fisted down the third base line. It's fielded cleanly by Volpicelli. He throws, and that is the third out. So 6 up, 6 down for VanGaillowy against the Southern Virginia offense as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. 4, 5, 6 hitters up for the Generals: Lowenberg, Kapuya, and Smalley. We'll be back. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field, we are in the bottom half of the second inning. Good start for Vangalui. 6 up, 6 down against the Southern Virginia offense. Now it's Lowenberg, Kapuya, and Smalley up here for the W now in the bottom half of the second inning. Zach Lowenberg, first baseman, batting from the left side. ODAC Player of the Week this past week. First pitch, he swings and misses on the curve from Soto, 0-1 the count. Lowenberg, 3 RBIs after going 3 for 6 with 2 walks against Averett. Takes a fastball up high, 1-1 count. Lowenberg from Baltimore, Maryland. Played only 12 games last season with a .211 average. Off to a good start this year, though. The 1-1. High fly ball, left center field. It's playable, though. Layden to his left, now tracking back a bit, makes the catch about 5 or 6 steps shy of the warning track. That's 4 up, 4 down for the Generals.
The catcher, number 36, Ben Kapuya.
A lovely day here in Lexington. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. The sun is out. Enjoy it while it lasts. 70 degrees tomorrow and then 35 degrees and snowing the next day. Here's Ben Kapuya now. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. 0-1. God love mid-February weather here in Virginia. Chance of snow Saturday. As the strike one pitch is a high fly ball, left center field again. This one playable as Layden and Saunders converge. This time it's Saunders taking charge to his right to make the catch. 2 up, 2 fly balls to left center, and 2 down.
The right fielder, number 11, Roby Smalley.
Now Roby Smalley steps in after making that nice diving play in right field in the top half of the second. He comes in with 2 down and nobody on in the bottom half. Soto into his windup. The curveball is in there for a strike, 0-1. So like Vangalui, Soto's got that curveball working for him as well. Strike 1 count. Soto throws, and it's fouled off to the left side and out of play. Strike 2 count to Smalley. Smalley making his first appearance of the season. Lines one down the right field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Anderson cuts the ball off to his left, brings it back in, holding Smalley to a single as he gets his first hit of the season.
Now batting.
Good piece of hitting by Smalley. That pitch was a bit in on him, and he was able to yank it and keep it fair. So first base runner of the game, first hit of the game. Matt Whiteley steps in now. He also making his first appearance in the season and in his collegiate career. He's a first-year player from Salem, Virginia. So Soto dealing from the stretch. Fastball in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Kiefer. 1-0 count. Whiteley, right-handed hitter. 5'7", 160, was the team captain of his high school at Hidden Valley. Even stance, barely bent. A pickoff play at first, not in time. Nice swipe tag by Critchfield, but it was just a bit late. Smalley at first after a 2-out hit. Takes his lead. A decent lead. The 1-0 pitch, towering fly ball, left center field again. Layden and Saunders converging. Saunders takes charge and makes the catch as he comes in and to his right. Side is retired. 3 fly balls to left center field with Smalley's base hit in between. We head to the top of the third inning. No score so far after 2. It's like a tale of two different games for the Generals in their last two games. They've completed 2 innings already in this one, and we've only completed 30 minutes of game time. The last game the Generals had against Averett, the first inning took 40 minutes itself. So, much quicker pace going on here. Vangelui helping by forcing the offense of Southern Virginia to go 6 up, 6 down. Here's the catcher Kiefer now, leading off the inning, takes a strike on the outside corner, and he doesn't agree with the call. 0-1 count. Kiefer, Daniels, Anderson, 7-8-9, due up here for the Knights. The windup and the strike one pitch. Outside corner, similar spot to the last pitch, just a little bit further outside, and the count is 1-1. Kiefer 0 for 8 against William Peace. Did have a walk. The 1-1. On the outside edge for a strike. 3 pitches right on that outside border of the strike zone. And a 1-2 count to Kiefer. Right-handed hitter. Slightly open stance. Taking 3 or 4 half swings before getting ready, and time is called. Kiefer is second on the team last season with 6 home runs, 5'11", 210 from West Jordan, Utah. The 1-2. Curve grounded down towards the second base side, the infield. Crane picks it up, throws to first, and there's one away.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Riley Daniels.
Kiefer tried to go for the wholly opposite way, but wasn't hit hard, and Crane had plenty of time to move to his left and make the play. 1 down, and here's Riley Daniels, the shortstop. Batting from the right side. Outfield pretty much straight away. Slightly shallow. Vangelui deals. That is in the dirt and outside. 1-0 count. Vangelui had a good junior year as he has a quick chat with Kapuya. Maybe Kapuya didn't expect that pitch. Last season, Vangelui, despite dealing with injuries, had 8 appearances, 3 starts, a 2-1 record, a 2.29 ERA, 19.2 innings of work. 11 walks and 11 strikeouts last season. A big improvement from his 8.53 ERA the season before. Next pitch is fouled straight back over the screen and out of play. 1-1 count to Riley Daniels. Daniels, sophomore from Spanish Fork, Utah. Holding the bat straight out in front of him. The 1-1 pitch is right on the corner, down and away. Painting that corner, and the count is 1-2. Daniels off to a bit of a rough start. 0 for 5 against William Peace with 4 strikeouts. Did have a walk and a run scored. The 1-2 is a curveball in the dirt. Squirts between the legs of Kapuya as Vangelui almost seemed to have fallen over. 2-2 the count. Volpicelli, who's been playing wide of third and shallow, now playing further back halfway and closer to the bag. Anderson waiting on deck. 2-2 delivery is tipped foul back. Daniels barely got a piece of that one. And we'll try it again. We're in the top of the third. No score so far. 1 base runner in this game, and that was a single by Roby Smalley. Here's the 2-2. Curve and a fly ball down the right field line. Racing over Smalley to his left. Makes the catch in fair territory for the second out. Smalley's had quite an adventure out there in right field already.
Number 44, Cannon Anderson.
So Cannon Anderson now steps in, number 9 hitter playing in right field. 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the third. Volpicelli now playing in at third, takes a step or 2 back and closer to the bag. The first pitch is low. Ball 1. Anderson, another freshman, 6'2", 175 from Mesa, Arizona. Very open stance and bent. Here's the 1-0. A half swing and a miss. Anderson knew he wasn't going to have a chance to hit that one. Tried to hold up, but did come all the way around and is now a 1-1 count on him. He went 3 for 10 against William Peace with a walk. His first hit came in the season opener. 1-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. And a 1-2 count now to Mr. Anderson. In one of the games on February 3rd, Anderson went 2 for 3 with a triple. He's behind 1-2 and takes the fastball high. 2-2 the count. Munson in center field, about 2 steps over towards right center. Dyke in left field playing shallow, leaving a big gap in left center field. The 2-2 check swing, pitch in the dirt. Anderson did not go, and the count is full. So a couple more dirt pitches from Vangeliui in this inning. Looking to force Southern Virginia to go 9 up, 9 down. A deep breath, a squat, and a 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 strikeouts for Vangeliui, 1 in each inning.
No runs, no hits.
9 up, 9 down for the Knights as we head to the bottom half of the third. No score, and we'll be right back. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field, we are in the bottom half of the third inning. So far, Vangeliui pitching really well, forcing the Knights to go 9 up, 9 down through the first 3. The Generals have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up. Marshall Dyke, Austin Crane, and Jason Volpicelli. Marshall Dyke off to a bit of a rough start. Went 0 for 9 against Averett in the doubleheader. Jonathan Soto a couple times in this game has had to step off for a brief moment. Now he delivers the first pitch in which Dyke takes a half swing and misses for strike 1. Dyke, right-handed hitter from Fort Worth, Texas. The sophomore waiting at the plate. Here's the 0-1. It is wide. 1-1 count. One ball, one strike count. Some shade starting to trickle over in right field. Fastball misses down and away. 2-1. Jonathan Soto starting to pick up the pace now, already into his windup. The 2-1 is a late swing and a miss by Dyke, and the count is 2-2. Soto laying the glove on his chest, gets his sign, now holds his glove out in front of his chin. Infield playing back, outfield playing normal depth. The breaking ball stays up and away. 3-2 now the count to Dyke. The big shift in the outfield is not as much depth as it is Layden playing towards left center, leaving a lot of room down the left field line. 3-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner. 1 away.
Now batting.
That's the first strikeout thrown by Soto
Number 3,
as Austin Crane steps in.
Crane.
Soto, who's coming from Oxnard Community College, into his windup. The first pitch to Crane is a fastball on the corner, down and away. 0-1 count. Soto, a pitcher, also can play in the middle of the infield. The 0-1. Outside, Crane thought about it but held up. 1-1 count. The Knights have 12 players who can play in the outfield, infield, or pitch. Next pitch, a bouncer towards third, right to Morin. He gloves and throws. A little bit wide, but Critchfield to his left makes the catch across his body and stays on the bag for the second out.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 41.
So the Knights have 17 players on their roster who can pitch, and 12 of those players can be two-way players. So 2 down, nobody on. Back to the top of the lineup we go with Jason Volpicelli. Third baseman flied out to left field his first time up. No score here in the bottom of the third as Soto delivers the first pitch. Curve just misses high, if anything. Kiefer, the catcher, thought it was a strike, pumped his throw, and then finally threw it to the pitcher. 1-0 count to Volpicelli. Soto steps off, so does Jason. Munson waiting on deck. Here's the 1-0. Fastball popped high up in the air down the right field line in foul ground. Three players converging. Critchfield tried to make the basket catch, but couldn't do it, and that's a foul ball. It's a tough play for Critchfield, and the count is 1-1. Soto, as I mentioned, made one start already. He started against William Peace back on February 3rd in the second half of a doubleheader, where he went 5.1 innings out of the 7 total innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk. He struck out 9. Off to a pretty good start here, only allowing 1 hit in 2 2/3. Again, steps off for just an instant. 1-1 count to Volpicelli. Here it comes. Curve lined in the left field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. That pitch stayed up as the ball is brought back in quickly by Layden, and Volpicelli gets his first hit.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 14, Ryan Munson.
So congratulations to Volpicelli's first collegiate hit. Hit that one right on the nose. A low liner that was going to drop Layden, who's playing a little bit further back than normal. Didn't have a chance anyway unless he was playing very shallow. That's the second 2-out hit for the Generals. Smalley had one back in the second. Here's Ryan Munson now, left-handed hitter. Soto back into the stretch. The first pitch is a fastball at the knees for a strike. And I don't think Munson quite agreed with that. Count is 0-1. Munson hit a ground ball to first. He's 0 for 1. A turn and throw to first. The tag, not even close. And then the throw back to the pitcher goes over the head of Soto, and it's backed up by Morin, who flips it back to Soto. Munson now 1 for 9 to start off the season. After batting .294 in his first year. Played all 42 games, which is tied for the most in a single season. Not often do the Generals get to play that many during the season because of weather. Next pitch, a hard ground ball into right field for another hit. Volpicelli will stop at second as the ball is brought back in by Anderson, and that's back-to-back 2-out hits for the Generals.
Now batting, the shortstop.
So the top 2 hitters in the lineup
Chadwick Feely.
getting a more of a read on Soto in their second time up facing him. So here's Chadwick Feely now. With 2 on and 2 down here in the bottom of the third, no score. Munson hitting that one on the nose as well. It was a ground ball, but it was hit very hard. Feely a ground out to third to end the first. He's 0 for 1. Morin hugging the third baseline, playing halfway. Middle infield playing back. The first pitch to Feely is just a bit inside. Ball 1. That ball had movement in towards Feely. Chadwick almost had his first home run this season against Averett. Pulled a slow breaking ball and just yanked it over the 330 sign, and that sign is in foul ground. 1-0 is a fastball right at the knees for a called strike. 1-1 count. Volpicelli at second, Munson at first with 2 down. Waiting on deck is Lowenberg. Soto's set now. A high set, a look at second, a second look, and a third. Here's the 1-1 curve down and in. 2-1. First time Soto's been in any sort of jam. Still has 2 outs working for him though. Here's the 2-1. At the knees for a strike. 2-2 count. Chadwick batting .371 last season. So far, 3 for his first 8 this season. 2 on with 2 down. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Soto sets 3 looks at second, and then time is called by Feely, and no one's covering second. Daniels and Stanton playing pretty far back. Now Daniels, the shortstop, much closer to the back of Volpicelli, watching him. There's a big hole in the left side of the infield. 2-2 the count. Soto delivers, and a high chopper on the left side of the infield, cut off by the shortstop Daniels. Long throw to first, in the dirt, gets by first, and that's going to allow Volpicelli to score. Everybody else moves up 90 feet, and the Generals go ahead 1-0. It's going to go down as a hit for Feely, and an error by Daniels, allowing everyone to move up a base. So Generals go ahead 1-0. Munson goes all the way to third. Feely now at second, and here's Zach Lowenberg. First pitch to Zach, and that's just a bit high. Ball 1. So Generals score on an error. Sounds familiar. 1-0 count to Lowenberg, who flied out to left field to lead off the second inning. 2 in scoring position. Soto with the pitch from the stretch. It's high, throw to third, not going to be in time. 2-0 count as Kiefer tried to get a close pickoff play at third base, but Munson over there didn't have a big lead. But Soto having some troubles now finding his spot. Behind on another count, 2-0 to Lowenberg. Zach with that open left-handed stance waits, and the fastball is up high, 3-0 count. No RBI for Feely on that one. Volpicelli got to third on his hit, but came home on the error by Daniels. Now a 3-0 count to Lowenberg, and waiting on deck is Ben Capuya, who had a really good game against Averitt. Time was called. Lowenberg now back in the box. Soto leaning in gets the sign. The 3-0. Fastball right down the middle, and the count is 3-1. So 3 consecutive 2-out hits and an error put the Generals up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Washington and Lee have 4 2-out hits so far in this game. Good hitters count for Zach. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. And that's down and away. And Lowenberg draws the walk, and the bases are loaded. So Munson at third, Feely at second, Lowenberg at first, and there will be a meeting at the mound now for Soto. Ben Capuya will be batting now. Now the Generals will have a meeting. Ted White, all the base runners, Capuya, and the on-deck hitter Smalley, along with Cohen, the assistant coach. The inning started off with Dyke striking out looking, Austin Crane a ground out to third, Volpicelli his first collegiate hit, a line drive single, Ryan Munson had a single of his own, and then Feely had a single on a tough play for the shortstop Daniels off a high chopper, and the throw by Daniels got by Critchfield, the first baseman, allowing Volpicelli to come around and score. It allowed Munson to go to third, Feely to go to second, and then Lowenberg drew the walk. Both meetings are finished now. Here's Ben Capuya with the bases loaded. The first pitch to him is high and tight, ball 1. Soto is not really getting that two-seamer to work right now. Munson, Feely, and Lowenberg around the horn from third to first. Here's the 1-0. On the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 count to Capuya. He flied out to left center field. It was caught by Saunders back in the second. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Generals. Only 1 error on the scoreboard for the Knights. 1-1 deliveries in the dirt, blocked nicely by Kiefer, and the count is 2-1 to Capuya. Ben had a good game against Averett. Went 3 for 4 with 2 walks and an RBI. 2-1 the count. And time is called by Kapuya. A lot of Generals batters calling for time, with Soto really taking his time. Two and one. Soto steps off this time. Stretches the arms out. Now is set. Kapuya whipping the bat around a bit. Now he's ready. Soto steps off again, and now Kiefer's going to have a chat with him at the mound. So after a smooth first 2 innings relatively for Soto, having a lot of difficulty here with 2 outs in the third. Kiefer now heads back behind the plate. Bases loaded for the Generals. Munson at third, Feely at second, Lowenberg at first. 3 hits and a walk with an error in between after the first 2 batters were retired. 2-1 the count to Mr. Kapuya. Soto is now set. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Kapuya was going for it all with that one. And the count is 2-2. Layden in left field playing kind of deep. Saunders in center straight away at normal depth. Anderson in right straight away, maybe a bit shallow. 2-2 the count. Here it comes. Swing and a pop-up in the middle of the infield. 3 players around it. Soto's coming under it, but it's called off by Critchfield, who makes the catch. And the Knights get out of the jam.
For W now, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left.
The Generals get a run on an error by Daniels, but they strand the bases loaded. They lead 1-0 after 3 innings. We'll be back. Back here at Lexington, we've completed 3 innings of work. The Generals going ahead 1-0 with 3 2-out hits, an error, and a walk. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for W&L. Southern Virginia, no runs, no hits, 1 error. Vangeliui, 3 perfect innings so far in just 42 pitches. Top of the lineup now up for the Knights. Saunders, Morin, and Critchfield. Saunders struck out looking to lead off the game back in the first on a curveball from Vangeliui on the outside corner. The first pitch to Saunders is swung on and missed. 0-1 count. Saunders, a hot start to the season. In 3 games against William Peace, he went 5 for 11 with 2 RBIs and 2 walks. 2 stolen bases as well. 0 for 1 so far today. The windup in the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a curveball. That one was below the knees as well. Strike 2 count to Saunders. Big gap in left center field with Munson about 3 steps over in right center. Strike 2 deliveries a curve in the dirt. Saunders didn't go for it. 1-2 count. By the way, Logan Mann, the head coach for Southern Virginia in his 9th season, is the third base coach. Tyler Cox is the first base coach. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mr. Saunders, the left-handed hitter waiting. Here it comes, and it's tipped off the glove of Kapuya, and it popped out of his glove for a foul ball. So Saunders barely staying alive. Kapuya held on to that. That would have been strike 3. Saunders played all 40 games last season, 51 hits and a .338 average. Both second best on his team. 1-2 deliveries, a fisted roller down first. Lowenberg has it, lets it come to him, and steps on the back for the out. Good pitch by Van Gelui, really jammed Saunders as Ryan Morin steps in. So 10 straight retired by Van Gelui. Middle infield playing deep. Feely at short now, moving to the left a bit. Crane, the second baseman, moving to the right slightly, leaving a big gap up the middle for Mr. Morin. Volpicelli halfway at third. Lowenberg the same at first. First pitch on the way is popped up in the air, right side the infield. Lowenberg is calling for it, coming in and makes the catch. 2 quick outs.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 6, Cole Critchfield.
Cole Critchfield now steps in. He grounded out to short to end the first inning. 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the fourth. The Generals lead 1-0. 11 up, 11 down so far. Volpicelli back to playing wide of third. Dyke in left field playing shallow. First pitch to the lefty Critchfield is a breaking ball that sails outside. 1-0 count. Good amount of spectators here in this pleasant weather in Lexington. As the 1-0 pitch is delivered, another curveball sailing outside. It's a couple bad curves by Van Gelui. 2-0 count. Critchfield waiting, bat laying on his back shoulder, now hold out in front. Tips one back to the backstop, and the count is 2-1. Critchfield playing at first base this season. He played as an outfielder and pitcher last season. Now Feely very close to second base as the fastball catches the corner down and in to make it a 2-2 count. Critchfield, quite an impressive freshman year, led the team with a .390 average, also 4th best in their conference. The 2-2 pitch. Curve tipped foul towards the Generals dugout. We'll try it again. This is only the 3rd season that the Southern Virginia Knights are playing in the CAC Conference, Capital Athletic Conference. Curveball down and in, and now a full count to Critchfield. Critchfield had a 17-game hitting streak last season. 28 RBIs, which is 3rd best on the team. But off to a rough start so far this year, 0 for his first 8. A 3-2 pitch again, bounced towards first again. Lowenberg has it, flips it to the pitcher Van Gelui, who steps on the bag to record the 3rd out. 12 up, 12 down. Quite the start for Van Gelui as we head to the bottom of the 4th with the Generals leading 1-0. We are in the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Lexington, Virginia. The Generals lead 1-0. They scored that 1 run last inning on a single and an error. The single came from Feely. The error came from the shortstop Daniels. Soto still on the mound, facing off against Roby Smalley. Lefty swings on the first pitch and fouls it off to the left, out of play. 0-1 count. Smalley, a 2-out single back in the second. He's 1 for 1. Looking to improve off a bit of a down year last season. 0-1 delivery, curve just a bit high. 1-1 count. Smalley played in 23 games last season, batted only .182. In 2016, he had .237 in 34 games. The 1-1. Curveball down and in this time. 2 balls, 1 strike. 53 pitches thrown so far by Soto. A lot of those came in the third. Here's the 2-1. A high chopper up the middle to his right. Sliding is Stanton, but it gets by him and it goes into center field for a base hit. Smalley 2 for 2. Start off this game and the season.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 10, Matt Whiteley.
First hit for the Generals that didn't come with 2 outs. Stanton had a tough play on that, playing pretty far off the bag. Tried to slide on one knee while making the backhanded scoop, but it just skipped by him. So 5 hits already for the Generals here in the first 3 innings. Plus 1 batter in the fourth. Matt Whiteley steps in as Soto turns and throws to first. Smalley slides back in. Whiteley flied out to center field to end the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Soto with the high set. Time is called by the batter. Whiteley making his first collegiate appearance from Hidden Valley High School. A little bit of a small lead at first. First pitch is lined into left field. Is staying up a bit though. Going back on it is late and shy of the warning track, and he makes the catch. Didn't seem to be hit that well, but the ball just kept on going, and with this weather, the ball will have a good carry.
The left fielder, number 20, Marshall Dyke.
So 1 down, 1 on, and here's Marshall Dyke. Marshall now 0 for his first 10 this season. Smalley at first, being held down by Critchfield. A little bit of a smaller lead than normal. Fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 count to Dyke, who struck out looking to lead off the third. Generals lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Anderson in right field playing shallow. The strike 1 pitch. Hard liner, short hot by Moore, and he stays with it. Throws to second, gets the out there. Relay to first, and a nice double play. Moore bobbled the ball. Kept going with it though, fielded it cleanly on a second attempt, threw to second, got the out there, and a nice turn and relay from Stanton to get the double play. And just like that, the inning comes to an end. 4 innings over with, and the Generals lead 1-0. We'll be back. We've completed 4 innings of work so far. Looking at the scoreboard, the Generals have 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. The Knights, no runs, no hits, 1 error. No base runners so far. 4 perfect innings from Vangeliui. On the other end, Roby Smalley 2 for 2 with 2 hits. The 1 run for the Generals coming off a single by Feely and an error by the shortstop Daniels. No RBI for Feely. Here's Mitch Tice now, the DH, who takes a fastball outside. 1-0 count. Tice struck out looking to lead off the second inning. 3 strikeouts for Vangeliui. 1 in each of the first 3 innings. 1-0 delivery, a check swing, but he did go around, says the home plate umpire. 1-1 count. Kapuya didn't know that the home plate umpire made the call. He wanted to appeal it first, even though the call went his way. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's Tice, Layden, and Stanton due up. Fastball in the dirt and skips towards the backstop. 2-1 count. The Generals had a leadoff single from Smalley in the top or in the bottom of the 4th. Quickly nullified, though, later on by a nice double play started by Morin, who fielded a really, really hard grounder on a short hop. Here's a 2-1 to Tice. Curve, waved at and missed. He was way ahead on that breaking ball, and the count is 2-2. Southern Virginia looking to even up the record at 2-2. The Generals looking to start off 3-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tice with Layden waiting on deck. Fastball outside, and the count is full. 55 pitches thrown from Vangeliui in the first 4 innings. Pretty good efficiency. The 3-2 is ripped down the left field line, but it's hooking foul. Without a doubt, the hardest hit ball that Southern Virginia's had. But Tice just got around it too much and hooked it foul. Got a couple people working out in the bullpen for Southern Virginia. Same on the other end for WNL. Full count to Tice. Here it comes again. In the dirt. And that's going to be a walk to start off the inning and the first base runner for Southern Virginia.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 33, Caleb Layden.
Here's Caleb Layden now. Layden flied out to right field his first time up. A nice diving play by Smalley, robbing Layden of a hit. Could have been his first collegiate hit. Curveball stays outside. Didn't have much movement on it. 1-0 count. Tice a very small lead over at first, being watched by Lowenberg. The Generals looking for a double play of their own. But the middle infield not really narrowed up. Bo Picelli in at third. Bunt shown for a quick instant, but it's retreated. The pitch was outside. 2-0 count. Stanton waiting on deck. A lean and look over towards first for Vangeliui, who's in the stretch for the first time. Bunt laid down first, but it's going to trickle foul. 2-1 count. Looked like Layden was trying to bunt for a base hit. Two balls, 1 strike. Now Bo Picelli looking for a bunt. In the infield grass now. Vangeliui throws. Swing and a miss. A wild swing on a pitch that wasn't even close to the zone. Down in the dirt and off the plate outside. And the count is 2-2. Got Layden fooled with that curveball. First base side of the infield now shaded over. Here's the 2-2. Reached out for and he pops it up. Third base side, foul ground. Going to be a tough play as that ball hits the brick wall. Kapuya kind of leaned over and fell back first into the wall, but he's okay. Count stays at 2-2. Now he's going to restrap some of his gear. Pretty good battle by Caleb so far. Inning started off with Tice walking on a 3-2 pitch. Small lead at first, still being held down by Lowenberg. Generals lead 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 the count to Layden. Here it comes. It's fouled straight back. So another pitch and the at-bat coming up. Dyke in left field playing very shallow. Smalley in right, not quite as shallow. Also hugging the right field line a little bit. Munson in center playing straight away. 2-2 once again, on its way. Curveball reached out for, and it's lined in the left field for a base hit. He reached out for that one and just poked it the other way, and now there's 2 men on with nobody out.
Now batting the second baseman, number 10, Dalton Stanton.
Able to just hold on for an extra second waiting on that curveball that stayed up. And Layden, with a reach, puts it on the left field. Now here comes Ted White, the coach, and there'll be a meeting at the mound. First meeting on the day for the Generals at the mound. The whole infield coming together, and all the base runners, hitters, on-deck hitters, and coaches coming together for Southern Virginia. Tice led off with a walk, Layden a single. That's the first hit for Southern Virginia in this game. Vangeliui, who had a really smooth first 4 innings, running into some trouble here in the 5th. And even the 4th, he had a couple curveballs that didn't really go the way he wanted. 1-0 Generals here in the top of the 5th, but the Knights are attacking with 2 on to lead off the top of the 5th. Cox, the first base coach, having a talk with some spectators on the right field foul line. Everyone back to their respective positions, and stepping in now is Dalton Stanton. Corner infielders in, expecting a bunt. Little infield narrowed up. Feely, the shortstop, staying close to the runner at second, Tice. Bunt shown, and it's laid down third base. Volpicelli has it. Only play at first. He pumps and then throws. Gets the out there. Everybody else moves up 90 feet. Nicely done by Stanton. Tice to third, Layden to second with 1 away, and here's Jordan Kiefer, one of their best power hitters. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit, and if it does pick up, it's blowing towards left field. More across, though, compared to just blowing straight out to left. Kiefer grounded out to second. He's 0 for 1. Jordan's off to a bit of a cold start, but can end that real quickly with runners on second and third and 1 away. Vangeliui's pitch is down and in. 1-0 count. Tice at third, Layden at second. Tice a leadoff walk, Layden a single in the left. Stanton moved them both up with a sacrifice bunt. Now 1-0 count to Mr. Kiefer. The pitch. And that's hit high up in the air behind first, and it's called all by Crane. Makes the catch, and the runners have to hold. Big second out. Just what Vangeliui was looking for.
Shortstop, number 2, Riley Daniels.
So now Riley Daniels, who gave the Generals their 1 run on his error, looking for a little bit of redemption here, possibly put the Knights up in front with 2 in scoring position. He flied out to right field after Smalley ran on a dead sprint down the right field line to make a running grab. 2 down, Tice at third, Layden at second. Generals up 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. Vangeliui delivers the first pitch, and that is laced foul out of play, first base side. 0-1 count. The sophomore waiting at the plate. Behind 0-1 the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice job by Kapui on a short hop just to stop the ball. 1-1 count. Now Kapui is going to have a chat with Vangeliui at the mound. Daniels, the best power hitter for Southern Virginia, led the team with 8 home runs last season. 8 home runs in 40 games is pretty good. 4th best in the CAC. 1-1 count. Don't really need one big swing here. Just a base hit could put them out front. Next pitch, a fly ball right field that is playable. Smalley barely had the move, comes in a little bit, and makes the grab. So on both sides, they get out of jams. Vangeliui, with 2 in scoring position and less than 2 outs, gets out of it without allowing a run. We're halfway through this one. The Generals lead it 1-0. We'll be right back. An hour and 15 minutes of game time here at Captain Dick Smith Field, and we're halfway through this ball game, a midweek battle between Southern Virginia and Washington and Lee. The Generals lead 1-0. Their 1 run came back in the 3rd on a single by Feely and an error by Daniels. The Knights threatened in the top of the 5th with 2 in scoring position and less than 2 outs, but Vangeliui able to get out of the jam as Austin Crane steps in to lead off for the Generals. Soto still on the mound, deals a fastball that hit the dirt before it reached the plate, and the count is 1-0. Crane a ground out to 3rd, he's 0 for 1. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball towards the whole left side, and it's in the left field off the glove of Daniels, and that's going to fall for likely a hit as the ball is brought back in. Daniels to his right tried to backhand it. It bounced off the top of his glove. It's a tough play for him, and the Generals get their 6th hit of the game. 2nd straight time the Generals have had a leadoff single. Last inning it ended with a double play. Here's Volpicelli now. A flyout, a single, and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. First hit and first run scored. Soto from the stretch deals an off-speed pitch down in the dirt. 1-0 count. Soto had a good first 2 innings, but the 3rd inning was really rough for him, facing 7 batters. 4th inning started a bit shaky, but the big double play made it turn to a quick inning. A pickoff play at first, and the tag is just a bit late. It's the 2nd time the Generals have had a base runner nearly picked off at first. 1-0 count to Volpicelli. Crane at first nearly getting picked off after leading off the inning with a single. Soto and a little squat and the high set. Runner goes. The pitch is grounded towards the middle. Shortstop side bobbled briefly by Daniels. Throws to first. That's the only play they had, and they get the out there. It was a lot harder for Daniels because Crane was running on that pitch. So you can call it a productive out. Daniels coming close to his 2nd error of the game. So Crane at 2nd now with 1 away. Here's Ryan Munson. Munson a ground out, a single, made it all the way to 3rd, but was stranded at the end of the 3rd. Runner on 2nd with 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Generals. Big gap in right center field for Munson. Here's the pitch. Down and in. Ball 1. Munson now 2 for his first 10 on the season. It's 200 average. 1-0 count. Daniels holding down Crane at second. Now it gets back to his position. Curve at the knees for a called strike. One of the better pitches Soto has made recently, and a 1-1 count to Munson. Clouds coming in now. Field completely shaded as the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Mr. Munson. Soto's pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Might be his best two-seamer yet. 1-2 count. Chadwick Feely waiting on deck. Munson a very bent stance, slightly open. Waiting at the plate. A couple looks at second. The curveball ripped into right field, but right to Anderson, who makes the catch. Quickly brings it back in as Crane has to hold at second. That's a good second out for Soto.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 8, Chadwick Feely.
Another hard hit ball for Munson, but this one on a line right to Anderson in right field. He barely had to move. So Crane stays at second. Feely steps in now. Chadwick a ground out, a single. An error on that same play scored a run. No RBI for him. He's 1 for 2. 2 down, runner on second. First pitch ripped down the left field line into the corner, but it's fouled. Another pitch that Feely gets a hold of, but wraps it around too much and fouls it off. Inning started off with a leadoff single by Crane. Volpicelli a ground out. Crane able to go to second because he was stealing on the pitch that Volpicelli hit. Munson a hard liner but caught by Anderson in right. Now an 0-1 count to Feely after a long foul ball. Soto, a couple looks at second. Here it comes. Fastball in there on the outside edge. 0-2 count. Feely now 4 for 9 to start off the season, just below 500. Lowenberg on deck if Feely keeps the inning going. 0-2 pitch ripped again down the left field line. Heads up in the Southern Virginia bullpen as that ball goes foul into the bullpen. So 2 very hard hit balls for Feely. Trying to straighten one out. Nobody holding down Crane at second. Morin at third. A little bit closer down the line and playing deep. Strike 2 delivery, a fly ball to right field. Anderson doesn't know where it is. Now he comes in and makes the catch. Had his arms out for a second but spotted it, and the side is retired. Leadoff single ends up stranded at second as we head to the top of the 6th with the Generals leading 1-0. completed 5 innings here at Captain Dick Smith Field. The Generals lead 1-0. They scored their 1 run back in the 3rd inning. Want to give a quick big thanks to Andy McEnroe, the producer, bringing this baseball broadcast on the WLUR All Access. Andy, thanks as always. New pitcher on the mound now for the Generals. Vangeliui is done for the day. Right-handed pitcher, first-year player Mason Shuffler from Lafayette, Louisiana, steps on to the mound. He'll be facing off against Cannon Anderson, Ryan Saunders, and Ryan Morin, the 9-1-2 hitters. Shuffler with the first pitch, fastball right on the outside edge for a strike. 0-1 count. Shuffler, a tall player, 6'6", 195. Big gap in the middle in the infield. More towards the second base side. Here's the 0-1 to Anderson. Fastball again, right on the corner, down and away. 0-2 count to Anderson, who struck out swinging back in the 3rd. We'll give it a final line for Vangeliui in a second. Strike 2 count to Mr. Anderson. Shuffler steps off for a second. And now here's the 0-2. It's in the dirt, 1-2 count. David Vangeliui, another good start against Southern Virginia. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk. Struck out 3. Bit of a rough 5th inning, but he retired the first 12 he faced. Curveball poked foul, heads up in the dugout of Southern Virginia. A late swing by Anderson. Off the end of his bat, he just punched it towards his team's dugout. Everyone seems okay over there. One player kind of scampered out of the way, but the count stays at 1-2. Infield continued to be shaded behind the mound. Swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch. It was up high and Anderson couldn't catch up to it. And Shuffler gets his first strikeout as a General.
Number 27, Ryan Saunders.
So we flip over to the top of the lineup. Here's Ryan Saunders. Top of the 6th, nobody on, 1 down. Saunders, going back to last season, has hit safely in 15 of his last 16. He's 0 for 2 today, though. First pitch, a hard ground ball, shortstop side, scooped nicely by Feely, throws on the run to first, and gets the out. 2 down.
Now batting, the 3rd baseman, number 13, Ryan Morin.
Saunders gone on 1 pitch, and now here's Ryan Morin. Morin, 2 pop-outs in the infield. 1 to short, 1 to first. He's 0 for 2. 2 down, nobody on here at the top of the 6th. For a team that can be explosive on offense, so far, only 1 hit in the game. Shuffler's first pitch taken for a strike. 0-1. Shuffler was also a basketball player at his Episcopal school. All-State honorable mention as a basketball player. Captain for his baseball team for 2 years. Good curve on the knees for a strike. Moore bended back on that one, but it came back over the plate. Another 0-2 count drawn by Shuffler. The first-year player looking for a strong first inning of work, and he steps off for a moment. Lowenberg at first was playing down the first base line. Moved a couple steps towards second, now back down the first base line. Smalley and right playing off the line and shallow. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's a fastball high. Same pitch he got Anderson with, but Morin wouldn't bite. 1-2 count. Last season, the Southern Virginia team had a .280 combined batting average as the next pitch is fouled straight back into the screen, spooking some spectators. Morin had a .313 batting average last season. Much better improvement from his .130 average freshman year. Next pitch is grounded right to Volpicelli on a couple hops, throws across the first, and the side is retired. Nicely done by Shuffler. 3 up, 3 down, and a lot of strong pitches. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Generals lead it 1-0 here from Captain Dick Smith Field. Back here at Lexington, the bottom half of the sixth inning, the Generals lead 1-0. Their one run came in the third inning on a single by Feely and an error by Daniels. Soto's going to stay out there trying to complete 6 innings now. Good first 2 innings, a rough third inning, but he's recovered nicely in the 4th and 5th. Lowenberg steps in now. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Soto's first pitch is a good curve in there for a strike. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Generals. The Knights, no runs, just 1 hit and 1 error. They wind in the 0-1. Curveball kicks off some dirt, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. The sun coming in and out with temperatures in the mid-60s here at Lexington. Enjoy a nice day tomorrow as long as it stays dry. Temperatures near the 70s. The 1-1. Fastball tails away and high. 2-1 count. And then bundle up in a couple days. If you're from this area, you should be familiar with the pattern. There is no pattern. 2-1 pitch on the way. Line drive into center field, and it will drop in for a base hit. So Lowenberg still continuing off the hot start he had in Averett. A leadoff single.
Now batting, the catcher, number 36, Ben Kapuya.
3 straight singles to lead off each of the last 3 innings for the Generals. Lowenberg now 4 for 8 to start off 2018. Have to wonder how much shorter Soto's leash is as Ben Kapuya steps in. Fly out and a pop out for Mr. Kapuya. He's showing bunt, and he lays it down third, and a couple hops fielded by Moore. And he goes to second, gets the out there, as it seemed like Daniels had a little bit of a hard time finding the bag, but he eventually did right before Lowenberg slid in. So the bunt attempt doesn't work. Moore came rushing in immediately and was able to field the ball quickly. Now there's a meeting at the mound between Kiefer, the catcher, and Soto, the starter. So 1 down, runner on first. This time it's Kapuya instead of Lowenberg. Roby Smalley, who's 2 for 2, is waiting. Kiefer still talking with Soto. Now he's being joined by Critchfield, the first baseman. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1-0 Generals.
Now batting.
So that's going to be a fielder's choice for Kapuya on the bunt attempt that failed, making Kapuya 0 for 3. So now Mr. Roby, who's made a couple nice plays on defense and has got a couple hits, checks in. Very bent, very open. Here's the first pitch. Line drive into the gap at right center field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. Saunders cuts it off, but going to third is Kapuya. Smalley's going for second, and he slides in safely. How about this for Smalley? 3 for 3, and he just got a double.
Now batting,
a very aggressive base running too. Saunders was able to cut the ball off smoothly. Didn't have really much of an issue, and Smalley still went for second. Now there'll be another meeting at the mound, and that's going to be it for Soto, looks like. Lowenberg, a leadoff single. Kapuya, a fielder's choice on a failed sacrifice bunt attempt. And then Smalley moved Kapuya to third with a double. And now that'll be it for Mr. Jonathan Soto. We'll give you a new pitcher for Southern Virginia when we come back. Runners on second and third with 1 out for the Generals. They lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field, we're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1-0 Generals. They're attacking once again with runners on second and third and one away. Jonathan Soto is done.
Now
He's
pitching
out.
for Southern Virginia,
Justin Davis
number
is
15,
in.
Justin Davis.
Davis, freshman, pitcher and outfielder from Riverton, Utah, 6 foot 170. He's played right-handed pitcher, shortstop, third base, and outfield back in high school. He's got Kapuya at third, Smalley at second. Smalley's 3 for 3 now in this game with a double. Matt Whiteley steps in. The first pitch to Whiteley is fouled off behind the plate. 0-1 count. Whiteley fly out to center and a line out to left. Speaking of left, Layton in left field playing pretty far back. Saunders straightaway normal depth in center. Anderson the same in right. 1 out, the 0-1 is up and away. 1-1 count. Davis making his first collegiate appearance with Southern Virginia. Infield completely in. Layton leaving a little bit of room down the left field line, just a little bit. 1-1 delivery. It's a fastball just missing outside. Didn't miss by much. 2-1 count. Runners on second and third in the responsibility of the starter Soto. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Tapped foul off the plate and back. 2-2 count. Lowenberg led off with a single. Kapuya tried to move him up to second on a sacrifice bunt, but hit the ball too hard, and it led to a fielder's choice with Lowenberg being thrown out at second by Morin. And then Smalley hit a double in the right center field, moving Kapuya to third. Now a 2-2 count to Whiteley. Davis delivers. Swing and a miss. Got him with the high fastball. 2 down now, and here's Marshall Dyke,
Now batting,
who continues
the
to
left
struggle
fielder,
starting off the
number
season.
20, Marshall Dyke.
Mr. Dyke now 0 for 11 to start off the season. His last at-bat grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Started nicely by Morin. It was a ball that Dyke smoked. First pitch to Dyke is in there at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 count. Generals lead 1-0, 2 down. Kapuya at third, Smalley at second. Here's the 0-1. Right on the corner, down and away. Good pitch by Davis. And he gets ahead quickly on Dyke, 0-2. Looking to get out of the jam he was put into. The next pitch reached out for. Blooper in the shallow right center. It's going to fall in for a hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Smalley. He scores. And the Generals go up 3-0. That's one way to get out of the offer. He poked it in the right center field. Just got a piece
Now
of it.
batting, the second
And it
baseman,
fell in no man's
number
land.
3, Austin Crane.
So both Kapuya and Smalley score on that, and the Generals now lead 3-0. Both runs in the responsibility of Soto. So here's Austin Crane now. The first pitch to him. Line drive, left center field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. So 2 quick hits in a row as Saunders brings the ball back in towards third. Crane gets his second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 41, Jason Volpicelli.
The Generals have 10 hits in this game, 4 in this inning alone. After striking out Davis, looked like he had a chance on Dyke with a 2-strike count. And pretty unfortunate for Davis because it was not a bad pitch to Dyke. Dyke was just able to reach out and poke it into green grass. Crane smoked the next pitch, though. That pitch staying over the plate. Now we flip over to Volpicelli at the top of the lineup. He's the 7th batter up this inning. Dyke at second, Crane at first. Davis with the pitch. It's a fastball up high. 1-0 count. So Dyke gets his first 2 RBIs of the season. Not only on the season, but in his collegiate career here at WNL. He only had 1 hit prior to today. 1-0 delivery. in there for a strike on the outer half. 1-1 count to Volpicelli, who has a flyout, a single, a run scored, and a ground out. He's 1 for 3. Generals up 3-0, 2-run single by Marshall Dyke. Davis with the 1-1. Fastball right on the outside edge for a strike. 1-2 count. Davis is throwing good pitches, just that 1 or 2 pitches that he missed with that came back to bite him. And I wouldn't even call the pitch he threw to Dyke a bad pitch. The one bad pitch he threw was to Crane. That's how baseball goes. You throw a good pitch, and you allow 2 runs because of it. The 1-2 curveball fisted the other way to first. Critchfield has it, and he'll step on the bag himself to record the 3rd out. 7 batters up in this inning for the Generals. We are through 6 innings. 2 runs on the single by Marshall Dyke. They lead 3-0 as we head to the 7th. Back here at Lexington, we've completed 6 innings so far. The Generals, 3 runs, 10 hits, 7 left on base. On the other end, Southern Virginia, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and they've left 2. Critchfield, Tice, and Layden due up for Southern Virginia. Mason Shuffler, a strong first inning in his collegiate career, looking to complete 2 now. Fastball just misses outside to Critchfield, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. The Generals doing a great job holding the Southern Virginia offense, who's known to be a bit explosive. 280 plus average as a team last season, as the curveball from Shuffler is in there for a strike. 11-5 movement on that curveball for Shuffler, compared to Van Gelui, who had a 12-6 curve. Here's the 1-1 to Critchfield. Fisted, foul, out of play, left side. 1-2 count. The sun's starting to set, but still a pleasant afternoon here at Lexington. Big gap in left center field for Critchfield. 1-2 count. And here's the pitch. Fastball grounded towards the second baseman, Crane. He fields it, throws it high, but Lowenberg able to catch it and stay on the bag for the out. Not the first time that Crane has done that. He did that in the season opener against Averett. With 2 down in the last inning, Crane had a routine ground ball and threw it high over Lowenberg's head, and it prevented McCoon from pitching a complete game, 7 innings. Lowenberg has had quite an adventure at first so far to start out the season. Here's Mitch Tice now. A strikeout and a walk. He's 0 for 1. Shuffler's first pitch, fastball, right on the corner, down and away. 0-1 count. Tice making his first appearance on the season. Tips the next pitch foul back towards the backstop. 0-2 count. Caleb Layden waiting on deck. The first 12 batters were retired for Southern Virginia. Then they had 5 up in the 5th, and then just 3 up in the 6th. Strike 2 pitch to Tice. Curveball in the dirt, and the count goes 1-2. Southern Virginia 1-2 this season, losing 2 out of 3 against William Peace way back in February 2nd and 3rd. Shuffler's 1-2 delivery. Fastball hit a mile high but foul out of play first base side. We'll try it again. Southern Virginia going to play against Averett this upcoming Saturday, as the breaking ball is down and away in the dirt, 2-2 count. A doubleheader for Southern Virginia against Averett on the 17th. Of course, the Generals beating Averett in a season-opening doubleheader last week. 2-2 delivery, another fastball, and a towering foul ball out of play first base side. The Generals will be facing against Greensboro on February 17th and 18th. Start of a long road trip in terms of the amount of days they'll be on the road. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Another high fastball thrown by Shuffler that Tice couldn't catch up to. He did that with Anderson last inning. So 2 strikeouts for Shuffler, and there's 2 away. Here's Caleb Layden. Layden, a baseball player at high school, also played football as a running back. 2 down, nobody on. He takes a curve for a called strike on the corner, down and away. 0-1 count. A flyout and a single for Layden. That single, his first collegiate hit with Southern Virginia. Time is called by Mr. Kapuya. Had his arms out, signaling to the pitcher to hold up a second. In his first 3 years of high school, Layden batted a combined .420 as he takes a fastball that just misses outside. 1-1 count. Middle infield, halfway or deeper. Volpicelli at third, to no surprise, the most shallow among them all. He's playing halfway. 1-1 pitch, chased and missed a curveball that was down and off the plate. 1-2 count to Mr. Layden. Southern Virginia is just looking for any possible way to get on base so far. Just 1 hit. 1 hit and a walk. Both coming in the 5th inning leading off. Here's the 1-2. A slow tapper past the mound, right side. Crane charges in, gloves it, throws to first. Got him. Layden tried to dive for the bag. Don't know if that would have made a difference anyhow. But it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We head to the bottom half of the frame with the Generals leading 3-0. Another 3-up, 3-down frame for Mr. Shuffler. Hope you enjoyed your 7th inning stretch as the Generals lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher on the mound now. Justin Davis is done. Michael Sterling, the junior right-handed pitcher, steps in. Jonathan Soto, the starter, goes 5 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Justin Davis, just 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, no runs. Now Michael Sterling, the junior from Cave Creek, Arizona, will be facing off against Ryan Munson to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Generals up 3-0. The right-handed pitcher delivers a fastball just missing up and in. 1-0 count. Munson a ground out, a single, and a line out. That line out, he hit a roper right to Anderson in right field. So Munson's 1 for 3. Here's the 1-0. Fastball outside, 2-0. Sterling's made one appearance this season. That came against William Peace, in which he allowed the game-winning run to score, giving William Peace the walk-off 6-5 victory and giving Sterling the loss. Fastball misses outside. Now you got a 3-0 count to Mr. Munson. Sterling on offense last season went 3 for 33 with 2 RBIs, struck out 19 times. Here's the 3-0. Fastball inside. It's a 4-pitch walk to start off the inning. Second time Munson has gotten on base.
Batting, the shortstop, number 8, Chadwick Feely.
Here comes Feely now, who if he kept the ball straight a couple times would have a couple extra base hits. But so far, a ground out, a single, and a fly out. He's 1 for 3. Sterling last season, 14 appearances, 17 2/3 innings, 7.64 ERA. 1-0 record. First pitch to Feely is a fastball outside. 1-0 count. Chadwick hit a deep liner down the left field line that went foul, and then he roped another low liner this time that went foul down the left field line. Both in his last at bat. Munson at first, and the 1-0 misses high and tight. 6 straight balls thrown by Mr. Sterling. He's the 3rd pitcher for the Knights tonight. The Generals so far have used 2. Strong start from Van Galuwe and Shuffler coming in relief. 2 strong innings, 6 up, 6 down. 2-seamer misses inside, and that's a 3-0 count this time to Feely. 7 straight pitches missing the zone. Zach Lowenberg waiting on deck. 3-0 count. Here it comes. Fastball on the corner, down and away. 3-1. The Knights have done a better job this season so far pitching-wise because last season, opponents batted .360 against the Knights pitching staff. Here's the 3-1 way inside, and that's another walk.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 19, Zach Lowenberg.
There will already be a meeting at the mound. Knights pitching only allowed 1 walk before Sterling came in, and he's allowed 2 here to start the 7th, and that's going to be it for Michael. So he's going to head back to the dugout. We'll give you a new pitcher for Southern Virginia, as the Generals with 2 leadoff walks have Munson at second, Feely at first, leading 3-0. Bottom half of the 7th inning, Michael Sterling came in to pitch for Southern Virginia. Didn't even record an out, surrendered 2 walks after throwing 8 balls and just 1 strike. So now here's Tanner Black, submarine pitcher, junior from San Antonio, Texas, 5'11", 210. Had a 1-2 record last season in 22 appearances, 1 save, and a 9.27 ERA. 2 on with nobody out. Here's Zach Lowenberg. Munson at second, Feely at first. First pitch on the way is a breaking ball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 count. The throw back to the pitcher popped out the glove of Black, but he's able to pick it up real quick. We'll see how the Generals can adapt with this much different pitching style and much slower pitches. Strike 1 count to Mr. Lowenberg. Black delivers. It's down and away. 1-1 count. Lowenberg a flyout, a walk, a single. He's 4 for 8 in his first 3 games so far this season. Corner infielders playing halfway, middle infield playing back. Time is called for a second. So Tanner Black, the 4th pitcher up for the Knights. Runners on first and second in the responsibility of Sterling. The Generals lead 3-0. And again, Tanner steps off. Tanner has his left foot completely extended out. His back foot, his right foot, completely bent. Doesn't take much of a stride forward. Big gap in left center field for Lowenberg. 1-1 count, here it comes. It is low, pickoff play at first, and it pops off the glove of Critchfield. He would have tagged out Feely at first if it didn't come out of his glove. Good throw by Kiefer. Tough luck, though, as Critchfield had that ball pop out of his glove as he was trying to tag Feely. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Lowenberg. Here's the pitch. It is just a bit off the plate. Tried to catch the corner down and away and didn't miss by much. Lights are on now here at the ballpark as the sun continues to set. Twilight time and a 3-1 count now to Lowenberg. Munson at second, Feely at first, both with walks. Here's the 3-1. It's not even close, way outside. And that's 3 straight walks to start off the inning. Munson to third, Feely to second.
Now batting, the catcher, number 36, Ben Kapuya.
So here's Ben Kapuya now. Fly out, a pop out, a fielder's choice on a failed sac bunt attempt, and then he came around to score. So he's 0 for 3. Bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch to Kapuya is a strike on the outside corner. That's Tanner Black's fastball. So Munson at third, Feely at second, Lowenberg on first with back-to-back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the 7th. 0-1 is a swing and a foul tip into the mid. And an 0-2 count. Waiting on deck is Roby Smalley, who's 3 for 3, including a double. First, here's the 0-2 pitch to Kapuya. Tipped foul back, he just got a piece of it. We'll try it again, 0-2. Munson and Feely back-to-back walks after Sterling came in and threw 8 balls and just 1 strike. Lowenberg drawing a walk as well, facing Black. 0-2 again is fouled back. Kapuya just swinging away, trying to stay alive right now. Generals 3 runs on 10 hits. The Knights no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Infield completely in. Outfield pretty much straight away. Anderson is a bit shallow though, and a little bit closer to the line. 0-2 again, reached down and got a piece of it somehow and fouled it off towards the Generals' dugout. And he stays alive again. And that's got to be frustrating for Mr. Tanner. Throwing some quality pitches, but just not getting the prize that he earns, and that's just getting the first out. Good piece of hitting from Kapuya behind 0-2 after many foul balls. Here it comes, and he pops it straight back, and that's going to head out of play. Home play umpire is going to ask for some more baseballs. Can't blame him. It's been foul ball after foul ball after foul ball so far. The Generals have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 7th and lead 3-0. Big swing can really break this game open. 0-2 count to Kapuya. Once again the pitch. Chase, and he again somehow gets a piece of it. Right off the tip of the bat. Emphasis on tip. Oh, 2 count, but this has got to be the 7th or 8th pitch of the at-bat. Munson, Feely, Lowenberg from 3rd to 1st on the base paths. Attempt number, who knows? The 0-2 again. Down and in, it almost hit Kapuya. He lifted his leg up just in time, and the count is 1-2. So Tanner Black, the righty, throwing a lot of pitches already. Although he's a submarine pitcher, so he's able to throw a little bit more pitches without getting tired. It's a more natural arm motion. 1-2. Hard grounder right to short. Daniels has it. Will come home. Gets the out there. Relay the first from Kiefer. Got him. A 6-2-3 double play. And there's 2 down. Feely goes to 3rd. Lowenberg goes to 2nd.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 11.
And looks like that's going to be it for Mr. Black. Got the job done. Big double play there. And no runs allowed. He's done. And another pitcher coming up. This is the 3rd pitcher of the inning for Southern Virginia. We'll give you a new pitcher when we come back. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Generals here in the bottom of the 7th. They lead 3-0. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field. Hope you're enjoying your Valentine's Day, by the way. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Generals had the bases loaded with nobody out, but Black was able to force a 6-2-3 double play, not only just to get the first 2 outs, but to get the runner coming home. So 2 down, and now here's Nate McCallum, freshman from Woodbine, New Jersey. 6 foot 160, facing off against Roby Smalley, who's 3 for 3 with a double. Feely at 3rd, Lowenberg at 2nd with 2 away. The Generals lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. The righty's first pitch, fastball down and in. Nice backhand pick by Kiefer. Otherwise, that would have scored a run for the Generals as that ball was headed straight for the backstop. 1-0 count. McCallum making his first pitching appearance, but he did go 1 for 3 against William Peace, getting his first career hit on February 3rd. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball right on the corner, down and in. 1-1 count to Smalley. Roby getting it done from both sides of the field, at the plate and in right field. 2 nice defensive plays, along with 3 hits and a run scored. Here's the 1-1 delivery. A slow tapper down third. That's going to stay fair. And it stops. They let it roll, and it does stay to the right of the third base line. And the Generals score another run as Feely scores. That's the 4th hit for Smalley. After a hard hit liner to right center field, he hits a slow tapper that stops fair just to the right of the third base line. Munson goes to third on that. Or pardon me, Lowenberg goes to third. Munson was the guy who was thrown out at home on the double play off the bat of Kapuya. So Smalley 4 for 4, gets an RBI. As stepping in is Matt Whiteley. Matt is 0 for 3, a flyout, a lineout, and a strikeout. First ball swinging, a high drive, left center field. That's hit pretty well, and back is Layton at the warning track to make the running catch. He hit it well, Whiteley did, but the ball just kept staying up for Mr. Layton. The Generals do tack on 1 run, though, an RBI single on a tapper that stayed fair down the third base line by Roby Smalley. We head to the top of the 8th, 4-0 Generals. You're listening to Generals Baseball on WLUR All Access. Back here at Lexington, the Generals tacking on a run in the bottom of the 7th on a ground ball by Smalley that the Southern Virginia defense let keep rolling down the third base line, and it stopped halfway fair, allowing Feely to score. Pinch hitter now in the spot of Stanton, it's Stetson K. Shuffler still on the mound for the Generals, trying to complete his 3rd inning. The fastball is in the dirt, 1-0 count. Stetson K, freshman from Utah. Said that a couple times. 2 for 4 against William Peace with an RBI on February 3rd. Here's the 1-0. Lays a bunt down third base side. Volpicelli charging in gloves. Throws on the run to first. Not going to be in time. Great bump by Stetson for the 2nd Southern Virginia hit.
Now batting the catcher, number 23, Jordan Kiefer.
Caught Volpicelli by surprise. He was playing halfway at third and had a long way to go to glove that ball. So here's Jordan Kiefer now. Stetson now 3 for 5 to start off his collegiate career here at Southern Virginia. First pitch to Kiefer is down and in, ball 1. Kiefer a ground out and a pop out. He's 0 for 2. Second hit for the Knights. They had one back in the 5th off of Layden, and they get one here in the 8th off of the pinch hitter K. 1-0 to Kiefer again in the dirt. So a lot of dirt balls thrown so far by Shuffler. This time it was a curveball. 2-0 count. Generals 1 run to 3rd, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Knights so far 0. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 count. First base runner that Shuffler is allowed. That little bunt single by K. Before that, he retired the first 6 he faced, coming in for Vangeliui, who had a good start. Pickoff play at first. They had K leaning a little bit, but he gets back to the bag safely. Volpicelli playing in at third. Outfield straight away. Pretty much normal depth. 2 balls, 1 strike to the catcher Kiefer. And the pitch. Fastball way inside, leading Kiefer back. And a 3-1 count. Waiting on deck is Riley Daniels. Good hitters count for Kiefer, the 3-1. And that is just a bit inside. Ball 4, and that's a walk for Kiefer. Here comes Ted White now, and that's going to be it for Shuffler. 2 strong innings, but allowed the single on the bunt from K, and then walks Kiefer. So we'll give you the new pitcher for the Generals when we come back. 2 on with nobody out. For the Knights, they trail 4-0 at the top of the 8th. Back here at Lexington, we're in the top half of the 8th inning. New pitcher now for the Generals. The 3rd pitcher of the night, it's Andrew Ervolino coming in for Mason Shuffler. Mason did a great job in his first 2 innings, retiring the first 6 batters he faced, but he allowed a single, a bunt by the pitch hitter Stetson K, and then Jordan Kiefer walks on 5 pitches. So 2 on with nobody out. Similar situation back in the 5th for the Knights. Here's Riley Daniels now. First pitch from Ervolino is low. Breaking ball missing, and the ball makes it 1-0. Daniels, 2 flyouts to right. He's 0 for 2. Both Feely and Crane staying close to Stetson K. Ervolino's pitch. Ground ball, second base side. Crane dives and misses it. It goes into center field. Daniels coming home. He will score, and the Knights get on the board. That was Stetson K coming home, pardon me. Crane might have had a chance just to field it cleanly if he didn't dove for it, but he did. And the ball bounced off of him and got into center field.
For Southern Virginia, number 4, Matt Roll.
So Stetson K, the pinch hitter, comes around to score. Daniels gets the RBI. Kiefer held at second. Pinch hitter up now for Southern Virginia. It's Matt Roll in the number 9 spot. Matt coming in for Anderson, who was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's the tying run now at the plate. Ervelino's first pitch. Breaking ball just misses outside. 1-0 count. So a single by Stetson K on a bunt, Kiefer's walk, and then an RBI single by Daniels. Puts Southern Virginia on the board. Here's the 1-0. Curve just misses low. They called a balk, actually. They called a balk, so everyone gets to move 90 feet. No pitch, so the count stays 1-0. The call was made by the umpire behind the mound, not the home plate umpire. So now you got Kiefer at third, Daniels at second. The count stays 1-0 to Matt Roll. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside edge for a strike. 1-1 count. Roll so far is 0 for 7 on the season with 3 strikeouts against William Peace. He was ranked the third best right-handed pitcher in the state of Idaho in his graduating class of 2015. 1-1 is a swing and a miss. 1-2 count now. The Generals just looking for 1 out. Middle infield still playing back. Corner infielders playing in. Kiefer at third, Daniels at second. Tying run at the plate. Matt Roll pinch hitting with a 1-2 count, and he pops it up. Behind second, Feely's calling for it all the way. He's under it and makes the catch. Runners hold, and there's 1 away. So we flip over to the top of the lineup. Here's Ryan Saunders.
Fielder number 27, Ryan Saunders.
Now meeting at the mound as Ted White comes back up to the hill to have a talk with Ervelino. There is 1 person in the bullpen for the Generals. Ryan Saunders having a chat with first base coach Mr. Cox. Their head coach, Mann, is having a chat with both Riley Daniels and Jordan Kiefer. And that's going to be it for Ervelino. So it's kind of like last inning where now the Generals are having 3 pitchers up in 1 inning. They lead 4-1. Tying run at the plate, though, for the Knights with 2 in scoring position. We'll be back. Back here at Lexington, we're in the top half of the 8th inning. So far, Southern Virginia, a leadoff bunt single by Stetson K pinch hitting. Kiefer walked. Daniels an RBI single. Matt Roll pinch hitting just popped out to short. Ervelino's done. Third pitcher of the inning for the Generals. It is Danny Devereaux, who's already made 1 appearance, 5 innings of shutout ball, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks against Averett in the second half of their doubleheader. Two in scoring position for Ryan Saunders, who grounds one on the first pitch to the second base side. Crane has it. The run will score. Throw to first low. Picked nicely by Lowenberg as Kiefer scores to make it 4-2 Generals. That run cuts the lead in to 2 now for the Generals. Daniels goes to third.
Number 9, Tate Briggs.
Another pinch hitter up now. Tate Briggs in the number 2 spot for Ryan Morin, who was 0 for 3 with 2 pop-outs and a ground out. So Daniels at third now for Mr. Briggs. 4-2 Generals in the top of the 8th. Devereaux's first pitch, fastball just missing outside. Ball 1. So Saunders gets the RBI on the 4-3. Briggs, his first plate appearance tonight. 1-0 count, Devereaux deals. And it's blooped up in the air. Second base side in the grass. Crane calls for it and makes the catch stepping back. So 2 runs in the inning for Southern Virginia. Could have been more. They strand a runner at third base. As we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning, the Generals lead at 4-2. You're listening to Generals Baseball on WLUR All Access. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Lexington. The Generals lead 4-2. Southern Virginia scoring 2 runs in the top half of the 8th. RBI single by Riley Daniels. RBI ground out by Ryan Saunders. Matt Whiteley, Marshall Dyke, and Austin Crane due up for the Generals. Same pitcher on the mound is Nate McCallum, who deals a fastball low for a ball. 1-0 count. Pardon me, Marshall Dyke is at the plate. The 1-0, tipped foul back, and the count is 1-1. Generals 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Knights 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Now Kiefer is going to go up and have a chat with McCallum. Michael Sterling, no outs recorded, 2 walks, 1 run that was earned. Tanner Black, 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk, and that was it. McCallum, 1/3 of an inning so far. 1-1 count to Mr. Dyke. So it's Dyke, Crane, and Volpicelli due up. Pitch at the knees for a called strike. And the count is 1-2. Marshall Dyke, 2-run singles last time up. His first 2 RBIs as a General. First hit of the season, too. The 1-2 curve, strike 3 called. Right on the inside half of the plate, and there's 1 away.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 3, Austin Crane.
Now here's Austin Crane. Number 9 hitter started off 1 for 7 against Averett with a double. Tonight, though, he's 2 for 3. 1 down, nobody on. First ball swinging, popped up foul over the Generals' dugout and out of play. 0-1 count. Generals 1 run to third, 2 runs in the 6th, 1 to 7th. Southern Virginia 2 runs in the 8th. By the way, Tate Briggs is at third now. Stetson K at second. Matt Roll now in right field. Breaking pitch just misses the batter. It was way inside. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Crane barely moved as that ball just missed clipping his jersey. Here's the 1-1. That one hits him, though. And Crane will go to first. Third time he's reached tonight. Same pitch.
Now batting,
That
the
one
third baseman,
slipped out of his hands a bit,
41,
though.
Jason
Him being Nate
Volpicelli.
McCallum. So we flip over to the top of the lineup now. Here's Jason Volpicelli. A flyout, a single, a run scored, and a couple groundouts. So he's 1 for 4. Crane at first with 1 away. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Generals. McCallum from the stretch. The first pitch. Fastball just misses a little bit low, maybe a little bit away, and a 1-0 count. Generals 11 hits in this game. Most of their base runners against Averett came on walks and errors. Not many walks in this game. If you exclude the last inning, or the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th, when the Generals threw 3 straight walks. 1-0 count to Volpicelli. A turn and throw to first, Crane back in sliding. Ryan Munson waiting on deck. McCallum, the 5th pitcher for the Knights tonight. Darker tint of blue now over the ballpark. Next pitch popped up foul, out of play, first base side. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Mr. Volpicelli. The Generals' first run came on an error by Daniels after a single by Feely in the 3rd. 2-run single by Marshall Dyke in the 6th. And then the 7th, RBI single for Roby Smalley on a slow grounder. Next pitch is down and away. 2-1 count of Volpicelli. Roby Smalley is 4 for 4 in the game tonight with an RBI, plus 2 great plays on defense. Dyke struck out looking to start the 8th. Crane was hit by a pitch. Now 2-1 count of Volpicelli, the leadoff hitter in the lineup. And he fouls this one off to the right again. The count is 2-2. Briggs at third playing halfway, close to the bag. Middle infield slightly tilted to the right. The 2-2 just misses. A little bit off the plate. It was a good pitch by McCallum, just didn't get the call. And now Volpicelli works the count full. Middle infield and double play depth as well, while being tilted a bit to the right. 3-2 count to Volpicelli. Way outside, it goes straight to the backstop. It's ball 4. That's going to be a walk for Volpicelli. Second time he's reached base. That fastball went straight to the backstop. Kiefer had no chance to get that one.
Ryan Munson.
So Crane goes to second. Here's Ryan Munson. Ground out, single, line out, walk. Twice he's made it to third. Once he was thrown out. The other time he was left stranded. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Crane at second, Volpicelli at first. With 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th, the Generals lead 4-2. They gave up those 2 runs in the top half of this inning. Munson takes a fastball up and away, 1-0 count. Nate McCallum making his first pitching appearance of the season. Did have some at-bats in the season openers. Here's the 1-0 to Munson. It's down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Now there's going to be a quick meeting at the mound again. First 3 or 4 innings, there was not really a meeting at the mound. Since then, there's been a lot of meetings. This time, though, it's just the coach, the pitcher, and the catcher. In the top of the 8th, Southern Virginia got 2 runs, RBI single by Riley Daniels, RBI ground out by Ryan Saunders. Generals looking to get the win here after a heartbreaker last season against Southern Virginia, where they went up 6-0 and ended up losing 8-7. And that came after Southern Virginia scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th, in which they started off down by 2 and came out winning by 1. Meeting is over. Everyone back to their positions. The count is 2-0 to Ryan Munson. Crane at second after he was hit by a pitch. Volpicelli at first after a walk. McCallum, slightly crouched, delivers. A chopper, first base side, fielded nicely by Critchfield. Throws to second, gets the out there. Relay back to first. Got him! Another nice double play. This time covered by McCallum, the pitcher. Second time a double play has been turned. Third time, actually, that double play has been turned by the Southern Virginia defense. And that brings the 8th inning to the end. But Southern Virginia has one last chance. As we head to the top of the 9th, they scored 2 in the 8th. They need to score 2 more to tie it up as we head to the top of the 9th after this. Well, here we go. Last chance for Southern Virginia. They trailed by 2 last season at the top of the 9th. Came back to take the lead. Same situation here. They trail 4-2 over the Generals, with Critchfield, Tice, and Layden due up, barring any substitutions. Devereaux on the mound, trying to close this game out and get the save. So here's Critchfield now. The first pitch, he swings and chops one down the second base side. Crane has it, throws on the run to first. Lowenberg reaches out, stays on the bag, and gets the out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 28, Mitch Tice.
Mason Shuffler went 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And then Ervelino, a third of an inning, 1 hit, and that's it. Devereaux trying to close out the game and go an inning and 2/3. Here's Mitch Tice now. First pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tice, a strikeout, a walk, and a strikeout. He's 0 for 2. The windup from Devereaux. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A little bit late on that fastball. 1-1 count. Infield spread out pretty evenly. And the 1-1 pitch. Called a strike at the knees. 1-2 count. A little bit of a late call from the home plate umpire. But the count is 1-2 to Tice. Outfield straightaway, normal depth as Devereaux steps off for second. The windup, here's the 1-2. Just a bit outside. 2-2. There's a fastball from Devereaux as the throw back goes towards second base, where Feely picks it up and throws it back to the mound. A lot of errant throws by the catchers to their pitchers. 2-2 the count. Caleb Layden waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. Way upstairs and way inside. Full count. That pitch was up to the level of the bill on Tice's helmet. So a full count now. Devereaux with the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 down. First strikeout for Devereaux. Last chance now for Southern Virginia. Ground out by Critchfield, strikeout by Tice, and now here's Caleb Layden. Fly out, single, and a ground out. He is 1 for 3. 4-2 Generals, top of the ninth, 2 down for Southern Virginia. Devereaux's first pitch. Reached out for and fouled off third base side. Strike 1 count. The lefty Layden back in the box. Strike 1 count. Volpicelli in at third. The pitch. Fastball called a strike on the inside corner despite it being away from Kapuya's target. So now 1 more strike to go, and Stetson K waiting on deck. He got the party started last inning. He's looking for another chance. Here's the 0-2 to Layden. Reached out for in a blooper, shallow center, and that will fall in for a hit. On a pitch that was way down low, Layden somehow able to get under it and bring it down the center field for a base hit. And with that, Stetson K goes back to the dugout. There'll be another pinch hitter up now. A lot of bloop hits so far on good pitches on both sides.
Number 11, Kobe Hill.
So here's Kobe Hill now. He's the tying run at the plate. 2 down here in the top of the ninth, 4-2 Generals. Devereaux's first pitch. Fastball called a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Hill is 0 for 4 so far this season with an RBI. The 0-1 inside. 1-1 count. Volpicelli even with third. Middle infield playing deep. Lowenberg holding down, Layden at first. Hill, a left-handed hitter waiting, the 1-1. Way inside again. 2-1 count. After a couple quick outs, Devereaux having a little bit of trouble. A lot of pitches inside on both lefties and righties. 2-1. That one is outside. 3-1 count now to Mr. Kobe Hill. And their power man, Jordan Kiefer, waiting on deck. Good hitters count to 3-1. Tapped right in front of the mound, now third base side. Fielded by Kapuya, throws to first, not in time. It was a tough play, and that's another infield hit. So that's 2 weak hit balls that lead to base hits. And there will be a pinch runner now in place of Kobe Hill.
Pinch running for Southern Virginia, number 31, Brady Lamb.
It's Brady Lamb.
The catcher, number 23, Jordan Kiefer.
So tying run now is on base. Layden at second. Brady Lamb now on first after Kobe Hill got his first hit of the season and of his collegiate career. A slow tapper third base side. So here's Jordan Kiefer. He's the go-ahead run. Generals up 4-2 in the top of the ninth with 2 down. Devereaux's pitch. Fastball called a strike. 0-1. Kiefer a ground out, a pop out, and a walk. He's 0 for 2. Also scored after the walk. Strike 1 count. Devereaux set, throws. Just below the knees with the fastball, 1-1 count. Kiefer had 6 home runs last season, second most on the team. Lamb, a faster runner compared to Kobe Hill, is the tying run at first. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Kapuya, the runners hold. 2-1 count. Devereaux knows what these tense situations are like. He's got 14 saves in his career, which is a record at WNL. Layden at second, Lamb at first, a tying run. Go-ahead run at the plate, 2-1 count to Kiefer. Devereaux deals. High and tight, and now it's a 3-1 count. It's Devereaux's game right here, nobody in the bullpen. Good hitters count. Devereaux look at second, the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Kiefer. He was trying to put his team out ahead. Now the count is full. Both runners will be going with 2 down. 4-2 Generals. Runners on first and second. And time is called by Mr. Kiefer. He's the go-ahead run, facing a full count with 2 down. Devereaux gets his sign. He steps off, trying to see if both runners would go on first movement. They both got back to the bag. Not a bad idea by Devereaux. But he has to come to the plate. 3-2, fouled straight back. That pitch came in on the hands of Kiefer. Devereaux picking up some dirt with his right hand, trying to get a firmer grip on the ball. Layden at second, Lamb at first. A 3-2 again, fouled back again. And that just thickens the plot even more. Generals were leading 4-0. Southern Virginia scored 2 runs in the 8th, and they have 2 on here in the top of the 9th with 2 down. The 3-2 again. It's low and inside, and the bases are loaded. So now the tying runs in scoring position. Riley Daniels drove in the first run of the game for Southern Virginia, an RBI single last inning. And you're talking about one of your best hitters, period. Layden, Lamb, and Kiefer around the horn from third to first. First pitch to Daniels, fastball low. 1-0 count. Daniels does not need the hit for power, but did have 8 home runs last season. Lamb is the tying run at second. Kiefer the go-ahead run at first. Here's the 1-0. On the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 count. A 2-out walk, or 2-out hit, followed by another hit, and then a walk. Devereaux steps off. Layden with the 2-out single, and then Kobe Hill pinch hitting got a slow tapper for a hit, and then Kiefer walked. Brady Lamb now pinch running for Hill. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. And once again, 1 strike to go. That pitch was not close to the plate, and Daniels fell for the breaking ball. So a 1-2 count with the bases loaded. Devereaux, a long look, and then steps off. Now he gets the sign from Kapuya. 1-2 count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss! Game over. It was a tight jam, but Devereaux gets out of it, and the Generals come out on top 4-2 over Southern Virginia after the Knights had the bases loaded with 2 down. We'll take a quick break and close it out for you when we come back. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field in Lexington, Virginia, this midweek battle between the Generals and Knights comes to a close, with the Generals coming out on top 4-2 over Southern Virginia. Let's give you a quick scoring recap. It all started in the 3rd inning when Chadwick Feely hit a ground ball. It was a tough play for the shortstop Riley Daniels. He tried to get him at first, threw the ball away. As a result, a run came in to score, that runner being Volpicelli. And then the 6th inning, Marshall Dyke gets his first hit of the season, a 2-run single that scored Capulla and Smalley. In the 7th inning, the Generals got a 4-0 after an RBI single by Smalley, who went 4 for 4 tonight, including a double. That hit scored Feely. That hit was also a slow tapper down the third base line that the defense let go, hoping it went foul, and it stopped just fair. And then the top of the 8th inning is when Southern Virginia got on the board. They attacked early with a single, walk, single to lead off the inning. RBI single by Riley Daniels. RBI ground out by Saunders scored Stetson K and Jordan Kiefer, respectively. And then the 9th inning, once again, after 2 outs, Southern Virginia able to attack. A single by Layden, a single by pinch hitter Kobe Hill, and then a walk by Jordan Kiefer. Cody Hill was pinch ran for by Brady Lamb. The bases were loaded with 2 down, but Danny Devereaux able to strike out the power hitter Riley Daniels to put the game to a close. In the end, Generals win on 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Southern Virginia, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. So Devereaux gets the save, gets the job done. An inning and 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. It wasn't pretty at the end, though. The Generals up 4-0, allowed 2 in the 8th, and were very close to another meltdown in the 9th after what happened last season. But they do come out on top. They improved to 3-0. Southern Virginia falls to 1-3. It all started after Vangeliui had a great start. 5 innings of shutout ball for Vangeliui. It was a little bit shaky in the 5th inning, but he got out of it and was replaced by Mason Shuffler, who did a fine job himself in his first 2 innings of work. And then he had a tough 3rd inning. Ervelino able to get 1 out, and then Devereaux took care of the rest. Vangeliui, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. So Vangeliui gets the win. On the other hand, Jonathan Soto, 5 in the 3rd, 8 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 1 strikeout. Kind of tailed off there in the end. He will get the loss. So next up for Southern Virginia, as they fall to 1-4, they'll be headed to Averett University for a doubleheader on the 17th. They have 1 game at 12, 1 game at 2:30. On the other hand, the Generals head to Greensboro to face Greensboro February 17th and 18th, both games at 1 o'clock. Next home game for the Generals, February 24th against Cortland here, doubleheader starting at 12 o'clock. Well, that'll just about do it here from Captain Dick Smith Field. Bonds Atufi here for WLUR All Access, saying thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the weather. And we want to give a shout out to the ODAC swimming team for winning their 4th straight ODAC title. And until next time, we will see you later.